Thanks for joining us today on the Big Blue Podcast. I'm Lee Goodson, and I'm joined by my co-host, Dr. Greg Stone, Provost of Southeast Campus. How are you today?
I'm very well. We're here at Broken Arrow's NSU campus for Convocation and Professional Development Day.
It is very
It's been a good
exciting. Day. And our guest today is Dr. Ureka Williams, Associate Professor of English and our current Faculty Association President. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're glad to have you here.
And congratulations again on the doctor.
Thank you. It's a long time coming. So finally crossed the finish line.
I knew you'd get
appreciate
there.
it.
I don't think I'll ever go to school again after that.
Well, you know what they say: the truly educated never graduate. So you're always going to be you're always going to be learning it in school. So.
Yeah, something. It's still rough, right? When did you first become involved in the Faculty Association? Because I know, I think last year was the first year that you'd been coming to the meetings. But tell us about how you led up to that.
Well, I'd always tried to go to meetings when I could, but as far as being a rep or on the executive team, I'd never done anything like that. But when I was approached about it, I just thought I thought back to all the people that really mentored me when I first started here. Sarah Stetcher, Dorothy Miner, Penny Cole Glazier, Mary Larson. I mean, there were so many people who really took time with me, who really believed in the FA. And I just started thinking about them. And for me, the best way to kind of pay homage to them was to represent the faculty.
Sure.
So I just considered it an honor that I was approached about it, and that's when I got involved with it.
So I'm going to ask a question that I know the answer to.
Okay.
Because having been in your shoes before a few years ago as an FA president, but for people who are listening who don't know, what does the FA do? What are the main goals of Faculty Association? What's the work that FA involves itself in? And just pretend that I haven't been in that spot before myself.
Well, we are the official advocacy group for full-time and part-time faculty. We want to be the go-to organization for internal and external concerns, whether they be Title IX, civil rights, just anything that's going on that relates to faculty. We want to be that go-to organization that stands up and supports all teaching people within the college.
Some people don't know that the executive committee of the Faculty Association comes and meets with the president once a month, and then you meet with the chief academic officer, Dr. Hess, once a month, along with the provost to try to work through some academic issues, and you all bring concerns to us at every meeting, right?
Correct.
Yeah, right, and you get those concerns from your constituents, is that right?
That's correct.
And you bring them in. Talk to us about what are the priorities for Faculty Association this year, and how will Faculty Association go about advocating for those priorities? What's your plan?
Well, there are many things that have surfaced in the 2 weeks that we've been back in session, but we feel like we need to develop a stronger bond within the faculty, that we really need to do things to make sure that as a faculty that we're together before we really start presenting issues. So in order to do that, we've scheduled many social functions, I'll say. And our first one is actually next Thursday at the C4C on the Boston Terrace. We're having a social to recognize our new associate professors, new faculty, Excellence Award winners. We just want to celebrate us. And then we have another one planned in December and another one scheduled for March. And what we want to do at those socials is also have some sort of community service project as well. We want to do our own kind of team building community service things to really get us motivated and pumped up so that we can collaboratively, I can't say it, but work on those issues that we really want to bring to the forefront.
And then really, I'm thinking, too, that sort of a byproduct of that, what a great way to get to know people. There's so many people. It's so hard to build those bridges. And
it is.
Whether that's in the service of the FA or whether it's in service of just interdisciplinary work for your courses, I mean, it just takes time to get to know people. And with so much going on, it's hard to do that. So.
Well, and it's gotten harder and easier at the same time with the college reorg. Right? So when we moved from a campus model to a one college model, I remember, and I know I've told this story before, but I was at a party at Connie Bear's house. It was the math and science party, the annual math and science party. And a particular math faculty member said, there was someone at another campus that had been working here as long as I had, and it had been 20 plus years, and they didn't even know each other. Right. And so now there's this expectation that faculty in the same discipline know each other even when they're not on the same campus.
Right.
And so that's wonderful that you all are doing that to facilitate that. And it really helps generate and shape the priorities that you want to bring forward to administration.
Right.
So, yeah, wonderful.
Well, I'm Greg Stone here with Dr. Goodson. You're listening to the Big Blue Podcast. Our guest today is Dr. Ureka Williams, English faculty, associate professor of English at the Metro campus, who's this year serving as Faculty Association president. So let's go back to 2006.
Okay.
We were just talking with Dr. Goodson before. You and I were hired full-time together, faculty. And we started being adjunct faculty the same year together. Which, can you believe it? It's been almost 20 years ago, Ureka.
No. My son was 2 when I started here, and now he's a sophomore at Booker T. So
it's been a while. So in that time since you began teaching here full time, what's the biggest change that you've noticed in our students' needs? What are you seeing them face now that maybe they weren't facing to the degree that before that they are now, or maybe something new that's come up? What are you sort of seeing as you look back over those years in terms of students' needs and how they're evolving?
It's interesting that you say needs, because that's where it is. It's needs. Now I see more students who need help with social services, who need help just trying to figure out that next step. It seemed like when we started in 2006 that they had a plan. There were more students who had a plan, but now these students depend on us. They seek us out. They follow us. They want to make sure that we see them. So I would definitely say that it's those wraparound services, those things that students, don't really know how to maneuver through. That's where it is. They really look to us outside of the classroom. It's not just in our office hours and, what we do during lecture, but they are really seeking us out now. We get emails from students who've gone years from now, and he'll email us about helping them with situations or those sorts of things. But they need us. Yeah, we're in the trenches. Students really look to us for things that are long term.
Right.
Maybe a related question also is, what do you wish that every student knew about their professors? And then what do you wish that professors knew about their students that they might not?
The thing that I really hope that students realize is that we were also students once too. And for me, not that long ago, but that we were once in your shoes. We understand, what you're going through. We understand, most of us do, the sacrifice choosing between paying for this and that, and, transportation, food, those sorts of things. And the thing that, I think faculty, need to really think about with students is that, for many of them, we're, they put just so much in it. They put all their eggs in one basket. They've come here, and many of them are saying, if I can't make it here, then I won't make it. So, it's just really important. That's why for us, like Comp 1 is so important to really get those students. That's why I like teaching Comp 1, because in the fall you get these, fresh eyes who are, just giving it all they have. And it's just really important to us that, we recruit students to come to college, but we've got to continue to do that from semester to semester too.
Well, the promise has to be an ongoing promise.
Yes.
Not a one-time promise, right?
Yeah.
And their confidence will go one way or the other.
Right.
And it's up to us to do everything we can to help it go in the right direction.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and just because we're English faculty together on the same campus for so long, I've seen you so many times be that voice for students, and particularly for students who are coming from underserved communities. But the other thing I appreciate about you is that you push them. You push them hard, and I also know how many of them have appreciated both of those things about you over the years.
thank
So
you. Thank
I'm
you.
excited about your year as
Thank
FA
you.
president.
Appreciate that.
And so we'll end by asking you the question we ask everybody, which is if you could go back in time and give 18-year-old college-bound Ureka Williams,
I was Shaw then.
yeah, that's right, Eureka Shaw, some advice, what would that advice be?
You've got this. You'll be okay. You've got this. You can do this.
A nice dose of self-confidence.
You got this. You can do it.
Excellent. Excellent.
That's great. Well, you've been listening to the Big Blue Podcast. We want to thank our guest, Dr. Ureka Williams, for spending some time with us today, and we want to thank you for listening. Remember, you can catch the Big Blue Podcast each week in the week at TCC and on the Creativity channel at YouTube. We'll catch you next time. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
Williams.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Thank you,
Rika.
Dr. Stone.